All right, injury report. Breland was limited, the hamstring. Hatcher was limited with his knee. Corey Lichtensteiger did not participate. Anthony McCoy was full. Chris Culliver was limited. D'Angelo Hall was limited. Deshaun Jackson limited. Ryan Kerrigan limited. Josh Rebus was full. Perry Riley Jr. was full. Keenan Robinson did not participate, shoulder. Chris Thompson was full. And Quentin Dunbar did not participate today. He had an illness.
I wanted to ask you about Hatcher, because even last year it seemed like you gave him a lot of maybe veteran days later in the year. How does that conversation go about with the player, and how do you feel as a coach when a guy is ready for that or can handle that without needing to do all those reps?
Yeah, I think everybody needs to do the reps, but, there are veteran players that are an exception. Jason's one of them. He's played a lot of football. He's a big man. He's got a little soreness when he plays a hard game on a Sunday, so he needs a couple more days to recover. And some veterans are like that. But, I think the majority of our guys are doing the best they can to get on the practice field, but Hatcher and a couple other veterans might need an extra day.
What happened to Keenan? He was listed as a rib abdomen injury.
Yeah, he had some weakness in his shoulder a little bit.
Was that something that happened in practice, or was that something resulting from a game?
I don't know. I think it happened in practice yesterday. Yeah.
Do you have now concern that he won't be able to play on Sunday?
I don't think so. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see tomorrow how much strength he has. But, he did a little bit yesterday. It's wear and tear, rotator cuff type thing. So we'll have to wait and see how he is tomorrow.
Tom Brady's one of the best at running the quarterback sneak when he only needs a yard. You guys do it sparingly, but Kirk's been all right at it too. What are some of the things that maybe go into making that play reliably successful?
I think the front has a lot to do with it. I think he takes advantage of some fronts. When he sees a gap there, I think he'll audible to it or, have an alert for it. He does a great job of that. Snap count, he does a great job of the snap count as far as getting the ball snapped when the defense is not quite ready. And then, having the length and the strength to just move your feet and get the half a yard or yard. There's a lot more to it than just ducking your head. He does a great job of following the surge and then getting the yard. And, we use that every now and then. We haven't had a lot of third and shorts. I mean, I've seen him do it on 4th and 4 or 3rd and 4 and 5. I've seen him do it. So he uses it as an effective weapon when he feels the time is right.
Going into a game like this against a team that scores as much as the Patriots do you have to kind of strike a balance on offense between, doing what you've done since April and May and, changing things up a little bit, pulling a few new tricks, for lack of a better word, out of your pocket?
I think every game plan you have to have something a little bit different, but we got to try to continue to do what we're doing, what Kirk's comfortable with. Number one, I know there's always going to be some new things that you're going to apply to a game plan every week, but the big thing is you don't want to overwhelm your quarterback and change totally from who you are because of who you're playing. You have to adjust to what you're doing to who you're playing based on their front and coverages, but for the most part, a lot of the concepts we're going to do are things that we've been running maybe a little bit different ways. So. But there is some merit to, maybe adjusting to a team that's as high scoring as New England.
Yeah, the Patriots are pretty meticulous in every area in the way that they prepare, but one that always stands out, it seems, is what they do on special teams. Do you see that as an area where you guys need to be particularly maybe alert or aware at some of the things that they do?
We have to be aware of everything in this football game. Special teams, offense, and defense, they're obviously very well coached, and they know situations, and they are excellent at it. In every situation, field goal, punt return, kickoff. You have to be aware of everything. On defense, they give you multiple fronts, multiple looks, multiple blitzes, multiple coverages. And then obviously on offense, multiple sets, 3 receiver sets, 4 receiver sets, empty, 3 tight ends, 1 back. I mean, they do it all. So they're very effective. So it's like I said last week, this is going to be our most important week of preparation in all 3 phases. So we have to be on top of what we're doing and be focused.
Get back to the quarterback sneak real quick. I'm sure you ran your fair share back in the day. Is there like a switch you flip to get yourself ready for what's coming when you dive into that pile?
I never ran them. I hated them. I always got killed. I couldn't stand them. But, no, I think it's just a matter of following your surge and obviously running against a good look. I've seen teams run them and get rejected, against big nose guards, and the guards are covered and everything's, it's a mess in there, and but he's very successful against it, and I think if you look at all the quarterback sneaks he's run, they've been against favorable fronts, and he does a great job of getting the timing down and obviously getting that big yard.
Jay, you were just talking about all the different looks the Patriots give you on offense and on defense. When you look at film, do you find that they are more sophisticated than other teams in terms of their schemes, and how much more difficult does that make to prepare for them?
Well, they're just different, and they have different ways of approaching, their offense and defense, and every week is different. That's why playing a quarterback position is so difficult for young quarterbacks, because it's not like you're going to see the same front and the same coverage every week. Every week you're going to have something different. It could be an odd front, it could be an even front, it could be a big blitz team, it could be a cover 2 team, a man team. So it's a matter of adjusting each week to everybody's game plan. But New England does do quite a bit. They're very physical up front. They have a lot of different fronts that can give you problems on defense and offensively, obviously, with the way they can hurt you. They can hurt you with blunt and the power running game. They can get Deion Lewis out there, and he can run the ball, obviously, and the quick passing game they're outstanding with, and the play actions are as good as anybody. So, trying to get them in the third down and long is going to be difficult, but that's the objective, and then rush the passer.
You guys talked about how you have to fix things on the run game. What kind of emphasis has been there along the offensive line this week? What kind of things is Callahan working with them on this week?
Everything, fundamentals, footwork, where we're going. Identification of the defense is very, very important, with multiple front teams. IDing who the mic is, all that's going to be very, very important. Obviously, the tight ends are a big part of that, and the receivers are a huge part of that. If you run an outside zone, your lineman blocks it perfectly, but if your receiver misses the corner and he comes up, makes a tackle for gain of 3, everybody wants to know what's wrong with your running game. It's the receiver missed a block. So everybody has to be working together, and we're working on that every day with different types of runs and how we're approaching them, how we're blocking them, how we're IDing them.
Do you sense better precision in practice, or is it one of those things where it looks okay in practice, you don't find out till the game?
No, we always work on things in practice. There's always things that we can clean up. That's why we go out here and practice as long as we do. We come back and we watch the practice tape and we coach and correct. That's what football's all about. And then we get to game day where hopefully we'll see similar looks that we practice against. Sometimes, you don't. But for the majority of the time, we practice what we're going to see, and then we have to adapt to the speed and the physicality that they play with.
You all accomplished your goals in the third and fourth quarters against Tampa Bay after all the talk about that. Is it something now that you don't even acknowledge with the team, or do you keep harping it? That third quarter struggle, you got to keep getting it off your back.
I think, too much emphasis was made on that a little bit, but, it was an issue at the time because we were poor in the third quarter in 6 games. It was great we got that, or 7, whatever it was, 6. It was good we got that monkey off our back, but against any team in the National Football League, every quarter is very important. You start slow, you get yourself in too big a hole like we did against Tampa, odds are you're not going to come back from that. So we have to start fast. We have to finish the half on a high note, and we got to start the third quarter better than we have, and obviously finish the game. There's not a part of a football game that's not important. You have one lapse, one lack of focus, and you're down a couple touchdowns against a team like New England, and that's something we can't have.
When you have you made a decision just on a typical week by now on what you're going to do if you win the coin toss? There's some coaches really, the Patriots almost always defer. You seem to be 50-50. Have you decided that now when you'd like that extra possession, or is that a gut feel game time thing?
I just assume we're not going to win the coin toss. We haven't won one in a long time. But, no, we have a good feel. We talk about it before the game as a staff. A lot depends on the conditions, the wind, home game, road game, how you want to start the game. But that's something we'll discuss and make a decision.
Jay, the Patriots over the years seem to have a knack for replacing what you might think are irreplaceable players with, here comes another one who does the same job just as well. From your vantage point, is that more a reflection of coaching or a scheme or a system that they know really well, or just smart draft and free agency moves?
A little bit of everything. And they get players that fit their scheme or what they want to do. And they do an excellent job of that. And then they keep the core players that are superstars. And, they got one at the quarterback position that is pretty darn good. So they do a great job. Defense, offensive line, receiving core, all that. They do a good job with replacing people that fit what they want to do. And they have a good plan. And that's something we're trying to grow to, is get people in here that fit what we want to do, the type of players they are, the character. And then their skill set fits our approach to football moving forward.
Jay, anything you want to say to Dusty Baker, who was introduced as Nationals manager today?
I heard that, man. He's following me around. He was at the Reds when I was in Cincinnati, so congratulations to Dusty. Tough market, but hang in there.